give us all a good spanking. And after the spanking, the oral sex.
Well, I could stay a bit longer.
Welcome to TrekTrav, I'm Trav, and this is your Star Trek animated series, Season 1, Episode 4, The Lorelei Signal. Lorelei? Lorelei. And this is an interesting one. They receive a signal, and the signal begins to sound like a woman singing or holding a note. And then all the men start seeing pictures of beautiful women. They're being lured somewhere, clearly. And then we just get randomly told by Uhura all the men are acting strangely because Uhura doesn't see anything. And they ask her and she doesn't see anything. It was really random. I didn't notice any difference. They just all started seeing things. Anyway, and so they get to this planet. They beam down. They're heading towards this planet. Uhura and Chapel are standing there looking at the men, and the men all have weird fucking smiles like these. And I just want to say they are horny smiles. Obviously, they are referencing sirens from old folk tales. I get that. Very good. The planet once again looks the same, but once they're being down, it's a really good matte painting. They do a lot of silhouette running in this episode, as in the background's lit, foreground's lit. For some reason, the characters are running in black. They get to this temple, and suddenly they're in a Monty Python movie. Beautiful women. The men are intoxicated by them, and then they get taken away, and they're watching a woman do some tricks. And suddenly they're unconscious and they're taken away, and they have these bracelets or headbands put on them, and they look visibly older. Meanwhile, on the ship, Chapel and Uhura have realized that things are not going the way they wanted to, so Uhura decides to take command. Now, I really love the Uhura Chapel cycle here of them basically going, the men are all fucking insane. We're going to take over this ship. And she does. She basically posts female security officers at every transporter, so no more men can get down to the planet. And it's genuinely, I just really enjoy this woman take control attitude. And we basically see Kirk and his crew trying to escape. They climb into a pitcher plant potty thing. And then Uhura and that being down with their female team and trying to take control. After rescuing, they rescue Spock, and then they find out where the other crew is. Spock has gone to get their technology back, so he slipped into the throne room. Apparently has trouble getting upstairs, but he could run a few miles. And he takes the stuff back, contacts the Enterprise, says, only send women to rescue. So, of course, as I said before, Uhura and her gang of ladies in very short skirts go down to the planet, start phasering these women like crazy. They hear the history of these women who came to the planet in the past, and women developed a secretion which made them able to intoxicate and bring men to them so they could absorb them. The men who arrived on the planet all just withered away and died, and it's just the way they have to do things in order to survive. There's no real conflict other than Uhura holding a gun to the leader's face, and then she sort of just goes, okay, we'll help you. And then when they bring Kirk, Spock, Redshirt, and McCoy to the sick bay, they use the transporter. By bringing them down to the planet again, the women could have just taken them. It seems really weird to do that. And then they beam them up again, but they might lose them to make them younger, to make them rejuvenated, which is interesting to see the transporter being used in a unique and different way. I don't know whether the original series ever done this, but I know it does come up in later Shrek. But overall, this episode has a few sort of interesting things. Number one, the girl power or the woman power thing, I really enjoyed. It seemed this would have still been the 70s, so it would have sort of progressed a lot. In order to sort of get past all of these things, it does seem really silly that the men become crazy intoxicated, and then all of a sudden, when they're on the planet and they've been withered a little bit, they want to escape. Uh, but I get that this episode, as with all animated series episodes, are only like 25 to 30 minutes. They huge pace forward. They just keep going and going and going and going and going. And in this episode, it felt like there were bits missing. So, like, I don't remember, like, I don't know why Uhura noticed the men acting strangely when Kirk simply just said, "Let's go to the planet with the signals." I don't know. I don't know why the women on the planet decided to just go, well, we won't bother them again. They do offer to take the women to another planet in order to sort of take de-evolve. I'm gathering is what it is. Although they have murdered like hundreds of people over the last like every 27 years they kidnap a ship and take them so they get younger and stay youthful. But they've killed a lot of people. But no, that's okay. We'll drop them off at another planet and they can de-evolve in about 10 years. Even though they haven't eaten this time, so they still need to eat some humans in order to survive. Uh, but it's a fun little episode. I don't think it's anything special. I've seen a lot of science fiction do the sirens thing or the mermaid thing to lure men in. I think this is probably one of the better ones in terms of just generally. I think there was a lot of cost cutting, I think, because there was very little movement in the characters. And what there was like black silhouettes and the women sort of turn their heads. I think Uhura and Chapel, like just having them kick ass in this episode was really cool. I feel like the miniskirts are very short. Um, but yeah, fantastic little episode. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and come back next week for a Star Trek animated series review or any of other of my amazing yammering on videos.